After listening to this story, you will be very mindful of the kind of house you live. Have you ever wondered why some houses, immediately you move in, things begin to change? Hi guys, please don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe to my YouTube channel for more interesting package stories with great lesson. Here comes the sound of Lagos traffic. Downfall horn, people shouting. Here comes a young man dragging two big Ghana must go bag. When Foley arrived in Lagos from Aba, all he wanted was a fresh start. What he didn't know was that his new apartment already had residents the dead kind. Foley, age 39, a struggling technician, recently got a job at a firm in Ikeja. He finds a surprisingly cheap self-contained apartment in Ikorodu listed online. He met the landlord, Pa Olorutoba Jeje, a calm, elderly Yoruba man with an unsettling smile. Pa Olorutoba gives Foley a tour. The rent cheap because we don't get light often, but the house solid, strong foundation. My pikin, it will protect you. Foley noticed how cold the floor feels, but he waved it off. He pays for a year and move in immediately. That night, he called his best friend Jude, tell him he finally found a jackpot house. But unknowingly to Foley, one Babalawo introduced Pa Olorutoba to an ancient deity known only as Ereku, a spirit of wealth that fed not on gold but on life. The price for wealth was tipped. Once every year, he must offer Ereku the soul of a living woman, buried underneath his home. Each year, Pa Olorutoba would lure someone into the house. It may be a tenant or a traveling worker. They would disappear without no trace. At 1:12 a.m., Foley wakes up to the sound of whispering. It's faint but unmistakable. It shouldn't be here. He checked the window. Nothing, just a dog barking in the distance. The whispering stops when he stepped out of the room. Light flickers even though there is no electricity. His phone battery drained rapidly every night. At 3 a.m., he heard knocking beneath the floor. He heard footsteps in the ceiling. The light flickers without reason. Sometimes, soft crying echo from the walls, mostly at 2 a.m. A smell of wet soil lingered in the air. No matter how much he cleaned, Foley was suspicious. From that night, he knew something was off. The neighbor avoided the house. Mama Ronke, the foodstuff seller down the road, warned him. After a week of sleepless nights, the following day, he met with the landlord to share what he had experienced overnight, how his phone battery drained on time despite being charged, the knocking on the floor, how he wakes up in the middle of the night, how the light flickers even though there was no electricity. But the landlord told him not to worry, maybe because he has just moved in. He settled back to his apartment, wondering what Baba landlord told him. asking himself, could it be because I just moved in? Or is it a dream? Or does it happen to only me? He keeps asking himself. The following morning, he embarked on a journey for an official assignment assigned at his place of work. He lodged in an hotel. He was to spend 3 weeks at the hotel for the official assignment assigned to him at his place of work. One day, he received a call from a found new friend living around his apartment that he noticed his door was opened and thought he was around. His door, widely open, keeps ringing bell in his ear, wondering what could have happened. Who opened my door? Didn't I lock my door? Is there anyone that had the spare key? But he could not figure out the answer. The following week, he arrived at his house only to find out all what he was thinking was just an imagination. His door was locked upon arriving in his apartment, but unknowingly to him, what his friend told him on phone was true. The door had been opened by the spiritual force living in his apartment. That night, he was already sleeping when he heard a great noise within. He wakes up to find what could that be, but he could not figure it out. The following morning, Mama Ibeji standing outside his window. You dey live for that house? Run while your legs still dey move. He reports her to Pa Oloruntoba. Ignore her, she dey mad. Na my late wife cousin, she talks anyhow. Foley finds old bone beneath a loose floorboard while trying to fix his door. Woman bone. Shocked, he rushed to confront Pa Oloruntoba, but the old man is calmly sweeping in front of the house. This house dey protect you. Foley, don't dig what you cannot bury. Terrified, Foley goes to Jude's place and sleep over. The next morning, he returned to pick his laptop. He finds his apartment door wide open, but no one was inside. Foley visits the community herbalist, Baba Olumide, who used to live in that compound 15 years ago. Baba Olumide revealed that Pa Oloruntoba lost his entire family in fire and turned to money ritual. He buried 5 bodies, some of them stranger, one of them a missing tenant, in the house foundation. Since then, the house has demanded a soul every 5 years. If you no leave before full moon, you go be the next break in that foundation. Foley tries to pack and leave, but Pa Oloruntoba catch him. The old man no longer smiles. He moves with demonic speed. A dark presence slams the door shut. The wall begins to bleed. Falling lights flickers violently. Ghostly hand begins to emerge from the floor. Suddenly, Mama Ibeji and Baba Olamide appear at the doorways, chanting. A spiritual battle erupts. The floor cracks open. Pa Oloruntoba screams as the spirit drag him down. The house collapses partially. The foundation breaks. The ritual is undone. Foley walks away from the rooms, covered in ash, his eyes haunted. He narrates in the background. They say houses are expensive, but sometimes When the price is too cheap, it's not a blessing, it's a trap. As he walks off, we see one of the broken walls slowly repairing itself as if the house is alive.